Hello and a very good morning everyone. Thank you for joining us today, especially our shareholder Mr. Khairil and representing the CIMB Bank, Ms. Fatima. I am delighted to welcome you here to our meeting at Google Meet since we had to work from home because of the COVID-19. It's a great honor, at the same time a great responsibility to lead AirAsia in my role as CEO. So here in this meeting, we got our staff member. You guys may introduce yourself.
Hi, greetings. I am Junida, the financial analyst of the company.
Hi, good morning everyone. I am Ahmad Nazik as Financial Manager.
Hello, I am Zizi Zawani and I work as an account engineer.
Hi to all the top management of AirAsia Group Berhad. My name is Fatima Isnor and I am the representative of CIMB Bank for this company. Thank you for inviting me to join this meeting today.
Hi, I'm Gajah as a shareholder of AirAsia Group. I'm glad to be here because I want to know the latest updates on AirAsia performance.
Okay, the objective of our meeting to show our capability to pay back the loan that we apply from CIMB Bank. The draft of the minute has been distributed for your review. Are there any correction to the minute? Okay, hearing none, the minute are approved as presented. Can we start with our accountant, Miss Zizi? Please present our financial statement.
Okay, before I start, I will present my slide first. Okay, can you guys see my slide? Start edition with the Asia income statement. I will explain the operating loss profit first. As you can see my slide, in 2020, our company lost RM 5.4 billions compared to 2019. The profit that we get is RM 724 millions. After calculating finance income and finance loss, the statement show that net operating loss profit is in 2020 we lost RM 6 billions, and in 2019 we get an income of RM 68 millions. Calculation after tax show that net loss profit for the financial years is we lost RM 5.8 billion in 2020, and also we lost in 2019, which is as much as RM 283 millions.
Sorry for interrupting. I want to know why there can be huge losses in 2020. Can anyone explain to me?
Okay, let me explain it to you. Due to COVID-19, all flights had to be closed to curb the COVID-19 outbreak from spreading. The directive was issued by the government to close all tourism sector from within and outside the country during the first lockdown in Malaysia, effective on March 18, 2020.
Oh, okay. I'm clear on why that happened.
Excuse me, may I know Miss Lizzie about the statement of financial position?
As you wish, Miss Fatima. In 2020, our non-current asset is RM 70 billion. And in 2019, RM 20 millions, while current asset are RM 2.5 billions in 2020 and RM 5.2 billions in 2019. In 2020, RM 8.4 billions and RM 7.1 billion for 2019 in the current liabilities. The current liabilities and the asset is RM 5.9 billions in years 2020 and 1.8 billions in 2019. For non-current liabilities obtained RM 14 billion in 2020, decreased compared to the previous years, which is RM 15 million in 2019. So, based on the information, the total equity is RM 3.5 billions in 2020 and 2.9 millions in 2019.
Based on that statement of financial position, what is the total shareholder funds?
To explain Mr. Khairil question, the total shareholder deficit in 2020 is RM 1.2 billion, and in 2019, the shareholder funds is RM 4.4 billions.
I am a little bit upset over what happened when total shareholders became negative in large amounts.
I'm sorry, Mr. Carey, to hear that, but let my accountant finish her presentation. Please continue, Miss Zizi.
Miss Zizi, what about the other statement?
Miss Zizi, can you answer that question?
Okay, I will explain about the statement change in equity for the financial years and 2020 and 2019. In 2019, the number of share is RM 3.3 billions, and another calculation bring the total amount of equity to RM 8.9 billions. The last one, I will explain about the statement of cash flow. Before I start, any question?
No.
In order
No
not
question
to
for now.
waste, in order to waste any more time, for the financial statement of cash flow in 2020, net cash used in generate from operating activity is RM 2.1 billion, and in 2019 is RM 2.5 billions.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for explanation.
Based on my observations on your accountant's presentation, all the statements of AirAsia are worrying to me as a shareholder in this company.
Don't be worried, Mr. Khairil. By the way, thank you, Miss Zizi, for the presentation. Let's continue more detail. So, in Bang, I heard that you have a question.
May I know who I should ask? Yeah, I I want to know who I should ask if I have a question about the company's financial analysis.
Oh, okay. In response to your question, I will link our finance analysis who will explain those financial ratio in further detail. So, Miss Junida, sorry, you may proceed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairperson. First of all, before I go any further, I will present my slide. So this is the financial analysis ratio of the company for the years 2019 and 2020. I'm starting with the liquidity ratio. As you can see in the table, the current ratio of the company for 2019 is 0.742 times lower than 2020, which is 1.274 times. This means in 2020, the company can exactly pay all of its current liability with its existing asset. However, in 2019, the company is having the problem with paying its current liability. Next, as for the quick ratio, it shows that in 2019, company is doing better than 2020, which is 0.721 without having to rely on liquid current asset. Continue with working net capital, both 2019 and 2020 show a negative result, which is amount of fixed asset are most likely to be financed with current liability. So, let's move on to average company activity ratio. As you can see in the table, the inventory turnover seems that 2019 is doing better than 2020. This means in 2020, it shows an excess inventory that can lead the company to lose its sales. Next is average collection period. In 2019, the company will manage the collect of payment faster than 2020, which is around 34 days and 103 days. This means in 2019, the cash available in the company meets the cash requirement. as for the fixed asset turnover ratio, we can see that in 2019, the company has a better performance compared to 2020. It indicates that in 2019, the company will have more revenue that can be generated per ringgit of investment in fixed asset. Last but not least, as for total asset turnover ratio, it seems like in 2019, the company is doing better than 2020, which is 2.2 times and 1.22 times in 2020. This means in 2019, the company is exactly effective in using all of its assets. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation, Ms. Nida. Regarding our financial ratio, let's continue presentation session in this meeting about leverage ratio. Can you continue, Mr. Ahmad?
Yes, sure, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. So can you guys see my slide? Can you guys see my slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the first one is I'm going to explain about leverage ratio of our company. As you guys can see, the first one is debt ratio. The rate increased by 14.4%. It is because we need to pay our workers' wages, aircraft maintenance, and other bills every month, although no flight took place. So the next one is debt to equity ratio. On 2019, the ratio is higher than 2020. This shows that 2019 has a relief on a long-term debt rather than 2020 because of the higher ratio. Lastly, for the leverage ratio is time interest earned. On 2019, the ratio is lower than 2020, which means 2020 is a better year for our company. This shows that in 2020, the company has a better time interest earned because of the ratio. So the next one is I will explain about our profitability of our company. As you guys can see, the first one is gross profit margin. On 2019, it showed a better ratio rather than 2020. The ratio decreased by 33.05%. Due to the COVID-19 virus, we couldn't do any flight to other countries. The second one is operating profit margin. Both of the years show a negative result, but a bigger number on 2020. This shows that in 2019, company has a better operating profit margin rather than 2020. The third one is net profit margin. The net profit margin also show a negative result for the past 2 years. This shows that the shareholder on 2019 only generate negative Rm 0.3 cent for each ringgit per sales, but for 2020 is negative Rm 1.88 cents. This shows that in these 2 years, the shareholder did not gain too much in return due to the pandemic. So the fourth one is return on total asset. The return on total asset also show a negative result for the past 2 years. This show that in 2019 is a better ratio than 2020. Okay, last but not least, return on common equity. The return on common equity also show a negative result, but the negative result for 2020 is higher than 2019. This shows that the company is really struggled to maintain the return on common equity. Company only managed to generate RM negative 0.0973 for 2019 and RM negative 164.93 cents for RM 1 ringgit of equity that provided by the shareholder. I know that our profitability is not really good, but we can show you that we can make it better in the future. That's all from me. If Mr. Khairil and Ms. Fatima have any question, you guys can ask at our CEO. Thank you.
I'm a little bit quite shocked and disappointed to see the profitability ratio of the company. In fact, this indicates that the return is quite poor, which has harmed the growth prospects. When things like this happen, I'm not sure how I'm going to make a profit from this company.
I know you've been worried, but please calm down, Mr. Khairil. We can get through this together, right, my staff members?
Yes, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chairperson.
For me, based on what I get from the presentation given, why should we lend your company the money, knowing that your company will profit is losing?
Okay, as you can see, the presentation from Miss Nida and Miss Ahmad, I actually have a future plan with my shareholder regarding our profit. So I'm going to do a collaboration with Mr. Kyril. Remember Mr. Kyril?
Yes, I do. Instead of me withdrawing from one of the shareholders in AirAsia, I and Mr. Chairman had planned to create an app called AirAsia Super Apps.
Then, please explain your super apps in more detail.
Okay, let me explain about this super app. Okay, AirAsia Super App is application is all in one travel platform where everybody can plan their next holiday, get discount on popular brands,
Can you
enjoy first dip on the best AirAsia promotion, and so much more.
Every items at your fingertips, the AirAsia mobile app make it easy for you to book flights, hotels, and health package, shop for food, groceries, everyday beauty products, and duty-free items, manage your flight bookings and pre-book baggage, meals, seats, and travel insurance for all your trips.
As you know, I am the representative of CIMB Bank. Based on the performance of your company, which AirAsia Berhad for the years 2019 and 2020, the profitability ratio has decreased by 33.05%, if I'm not mistaken, because of the pandemic. But somehow I see focus on turning this crisis into an opportunity. In that case, then I will be looking forward to your plan.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for your consideration, Miss Fatima. I think that concludes our meeting today. So we should close our meeting, right?
Yes, I think we should.
That's right.
I think so.
Alright, so again, thank you so much for your participation and cooperation in this meeting, and especially during working time from home. And I hope we will meet again in the next meeting. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.